Who has ever had an experience where you know that something's in your house? Anybody? Yes? Huh? And you have something in your house. Has anybody ever felt like they had something in their house, or you feel like something's like behind you, or like something creepy like that? Okay. So I just want to teach you guys how to clear your house. It can be because of creepy stuff like that, or it can just be, like I was saying, you know, the emotions, feelings, all of these things get pent up not only in our snow globe, but our house has a snow globe too. So if you look up online, the torus field, T-O-R-U-S, everything has a field around it. Everything has an electromagnetic field around it, and everything, it's like this little net that we have around it. So when we do clearings on houses, sometimes, you know, we have to clear the house because it doesn't think that it belongs to the people that live in it. It's like, oh, I belong to these people over here. So it's like a snow globe still connected to the old owners, and whatever the old owners are doing and experiencing right now is kind of like coming into the field of the house. So literally cutting cords from a house will help a realtor sell it. You know, realtor, I can't sell this house, I can't sell this house, I can't sell this house, because when people walk through the door, they're like, ugh, you just feel yucky. You know, so clearing the energy of your house is really easy. I'm going to teach you guys how to do it. We're going to use this microphone. We're going to use the violet laser beam. So awesome. Saint Germain taught it to us. And again, it's visualization, but you're going to basically, before you do any sort of like meditation or connecting with guides or anything like really outside of yourself, quote unquote, outside of yourself, you want to clear your house. So you can either do sage, you know, get light sage. But a lot of people will say, I've been saging, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It still feels gross in here. It still feels disgusting. What you're going to do is you're going to set the intention that the sage is active in all dimensions of reality. So, because what sage is doing is, if we are all basically a frequency, you know, how they try and find ghosts with those little AM radio receivers and go, they're trying to find like a frequency that is along the bandwidth of those little radios, and they find something, ooh, there's something here. Well, we all have a frequency, and that's why channels are called channels, because we tune our channel in. We're all radios. So we're channeling our higher self. We may be channeling our mental body. We may be channeling our emotions. We may be channeling someone else's energy, but we're all channeling these energies. But the frequencies that we're at are like radio stations, basically. So the house, when you burn sage, you're scrambling the frequency, basically, is what's happening. That's why it works. And it's scrambling frequency, so if anything is resonating with that, so say your house is at like 98.1, so some spirit is in there, or the emotions, or whatever's in there has all compiled into this 98.1, you're going through with an intention to clear, it's changing the frequency, anything that is in there can't stick there anymore, because it can only stick to the station that it resonates at. Okay, so it's like angry people don't like to hang out with happy people. They want to turn the happy people angry, or they think the happy people are fake, and that they're really angry inside, and they're just pretending to be happy. So it's like attracts like. That's just how it is. So with the intention, you can use sage, and you can just basically imagine that you're calling in your higher self from like 2 feet above you. That's where your soul, it's called the soul star chakra. But then you're calling in your soul's energy, and you call it in basically to right here. And then hold the sage and just imagine that like it has light coming out into it. Just for like literally like 5 seconds. Just stand there. And what you're doing by doing that is setting the intention that it's not just like emotions and feelings that you're getting rid of. You're getting rid of multidimensionally, getting rid of stuff. And then you've called in your higher self, so now you go around and you just burn sage in the house. You don't have to do anything special like by leaving windows open or closing doors or ushering out spirits or energies, like nothing like that. It's just like, okay, higher self, let's do this. Can you make the sage into a multidimensional tool? Okay, sweet. You know, and that's just why you don't have to remember the words. You don't have to remember anything, just the light from 2 feet above, down here. Imagine it kind of going on the sage, and then just light it and walk around the house and burn the sage. And then basically your higher self is going to do the rest. The other way to do it, which is more of like a visual way of doing it, is closing your eyes and imagining your house as like a dollhouse. You can imagine your house as a dollhouse if you close, actually, let's do that real quick. I'll help you guys clear your house real quick, and then we'll do the channeling. So close your eyes. And call in your higher self from 2 feet above you. Just imagine a ball. Again, just imagine this ball dropping down into around the heart, low heart area. And as you're breathing, just allow that bubble to expand out. So there we go. So that bubble that's right below the heart, just allow it to expand as you breathe in, it gets bigger. Breathe out, release anything that's not serving you. And they'll get a point where the bubble just starts expanding on its own. Just allow that to expand out until it's the size of your bubble or snow globe, your aura. There we go. And then again, using your imagination. You're going to imagine that there's like a dollhouse, or you can imagine blueprints, or anything to represent your house. You can say, show me a box that represents my house. There doesn't have to be any detail. If you do the dollhouse, you can tell where the energy is in the house. So just imagine your house in your mind, but do it to where you're bigger than the house. You can see. And then which area of the house are you drawn to? You get drawn to that area. I just say violet ray, violet laser beam. And if you're in the middle of a clock, it'd be like halfway between you and 12 o'clock. Straight up, a violet-colored energy is going to come shooting down. And that dissolves away any negative energy, negative cords, negative attachments in your house. And then you just kind of watch as that clears the energy in the different rooms. There we go. Just kind of helping a couple people. The fastest way to clear it is make your house really tiny, and then just say the violet laser beam, and then just have it dissolve whatever is in the house. And it's going to be anything that your higher self thinks is not for your highest and best good, other people's energy, just anything that's making you lazy and not want to do anything and eat constantly. That's what you get in your house. So the house, if you're ungrounded, you eat greasy, creamy, cheesy foods to ground yourself, to lower your vibration. Sugar. A lot of us have a lot of energy in the house. And the second we get home, we want to eat. And then we're all lazy. We have this huge to-do list. And then you get home and you're like, ugh, I don't want to do anything. Try clearing the house, and then you'll be like, wow, I can actually do something. I'm actually motivated still. So it's a cool trick. After 7 years of trying to figure out the quickest way to clear my house effectively, I say that that's probably the fastest way. I don't even think I've shared it. It was a big secret. My lazy way of clearing a house, make it really tiny in my mind. Doesn't always heal instantly, because I'll check in on it, like in the actual astral plane. I'll go look at it and I'll be like, oh, wow, it's still clearing like 18 hours later. But at least you're initiating the clearing right there, witnessing it, and as soon as you've witnessed it cleared, they call it it's gone quantum. So now it's basically out there, infinite possibilities.
How often should people do this?
I do it every day.
Okay.
And I set up a little, that's on YouTube. Look up on YouTube, because I don't want to get off track, but on YouTube there's a video that I have, how to clear your husband's yucky energy. Yeah. Clear your husband's yucky energy before he gets home. It's like setting up imaginary little vacuum thing, like the car washes blow air. This one vacuums his energy off of him as he walks in through the door. It works. And he'll go, did you send me Reiki? Like, because he can feel it. He'll go, oh, did you send me healing? I'm like, yeah. He'll be like, oh, I felt that. Or he feels it. So it's kind of cool. Anyways, okay.
Okay, so it's going to be a very short session because we're actually running out of time. But it'll at least, hopefully, if it all goes well, give people online as well as everyone here, just a little bit of sense of sort of what's involved. Yeah, you can't be holding the mic, so we have to.
Yeah, I was gonna. No, I'll
Well,
hold it.
I can just sit next to you with
Okay.
the mic. Okay. So where do you want to sit? You want to sit here?
I want to sit in my recliner. No, I'm just kidding. He's got this recliner. I'm like, that's my recliner.
Okay.
No making fun of me, people that I love. I was all insecure. I'm like, I don't want to channel in front of my family and my friends. I look funny.
My experience of this is that she does not, when she goes into trance, have every memory of what actually comes through. She has to listen to it afterwards or read it if we
It's
transcribe
like a
it.
dream, but if I don't recall it right afterwards, then I forget it. But then he'll say something like, "Oh yeah, we were talking about the quantum hyperspace reality of the blah 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 and this and that," and I'm like, "Really? Cool."
So the way we normally start is you clear, are we clear?
Let me just say a real quick prayer. So I'm just going to call in the Christ light to surround me, call in my guides, and channel higher self, Sophia, Michael, Source. Anyone or anything that's not for my highest and best good, as well as anyone else's in this room. It's commanded that you leave now. See, there we go. Ha! I haven't seen my higher self all day. The big, huge one came in. She was like, roar. Okay, big, huge higher self is here.
Who else is here?
Just big, huge higher self.
That's all.
Well, no, the usual suspects. We've got Jesus right here, Jesus' higher self, which is Michael. And then we've got Saint Germain always, and we've got the one that's in Bill's field likes to mess with me because I don't like mustaches necessarily, like the ones that do this. So he comes in and he like twirls his mustache at me and he's like, hello. I'm like, ah! And now he just does it to bug me. And then Peter, which is one of the ones that he's hilarious. We channel him in me and my dad's books. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. So I'm going to start with just a simple
And everyone else's guides. Now I can see
question,
him.
since this part of today is about higher purpose. What is Marissa's higher purpose?
That's no fun.
Well, it might be for other people.
They don't want to hear my higher purpose.
Well, okay, let's change it then. I was going to start with that, and then what I was going to ask was, what is the higher purpose of this group?
Oh, this group?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm like, let's not talk about me. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, I've channeled in front of you all before, but I'm like, Okay, if I make weird voices or noises, wake me up. As we step into the energy today, we bring to you a loving light, and we say unto you this room must be healed prior to entering in completely into this field. For we heal the vortex, we heal the wormhole, and we heal the cord attachments to the back right side of the room at this time. Thank you. And as we say this, as we step in today, we say to you this. Each human being on the planet today is here to experience, know, feel, and fully appreciate unconditional love. For when we are children, as humans, we do not know unconditional love. For many times as parents, we feel that we do love unconditionally, but we do not love unconditionally because we fear that something may happen to the one that we love unconditionally. Therefore, this is not unconditional. For each human being, the purpose is feeling this love, feeling this light, and feeling this gratitude within them for being alive and being here. So when life purpose is brought up, many times we say, who is it that you admire, but what is it that makes you happy? If you were to figure out your life purpose and then think, oh, if I did that, what would this person think? Or what would that person think? You will immediately change your life purpose because thinking of what others will think. So when you are on the fence of trying to decide something, imagine if I was on a deserted island, what would I do? If I was in a town where nobody knew my real name, my family was not there, nobody knew me, what would I do? How would I start? What would my name be? What would my profession be? Where would I have been from? Play this game with yourself and figure out what it is that you really want to do, because many times we are not doing what we want to do because those around us may judge us. And the amazing thing is, many times those beings would not judge us at all. We just think that they would judge us. So the higher purpose of each human being on this planet is to feel the love of God, feel the love of Source, feel the love of the white light, which represents unconditional love. And many times, this does not happen for anyone through their entire life. They never truly feel the love of the unconditionally loving Source in this universe, which is the energy that is us.
How many different soul groups are represented in this room?
18 different soul groups.
And of those 18 soul groups, how many share the mission that the soul, actually I should say soul pod, I think is the expression we were given, that Gail, you and I share of wanting to work to using the media to raise the consciousness of the planet?
There are 14 individuals here that would like to spread the word, bring the word to the rest of the world, and understanding and knowing and appreciation for the energetic systems in which we are, and bring about a non-mystical look at the creations in that which we are, and bring forth an unveiling of the veil, so to speak. There are 14 individuals. We will not do this by soul family or soul pod because there are individuals that are wondering what this is.
Okay. Of the others that are here, how many are in soul groups or pods or families or that have missions that are complementary to that mission?
38 individuals.
And what are some of the activities? Are they healers? Are they engineers? In what aspect is their mission configured?
Everyone in this room is a sensitive individual, whether they work with children or whether they have children of their own, or whether they are trying to heal an addiction, or they are trying to heal a perceived psychological issue, or they are trying to better their lives. This is why they are here. Everyone in this room needs to release and forgive themselves for the past. Every single person in this room needs to release and forgive themselves for the past. Whether you feel that you have forgiven yourself, you may forgive yourself within your mind, but within the energy, there are still attachments that say, you did bad, you did wrong, you did bad, you did wrong. And as one is thinking that, it is lowering the credit score, as this channel calls it. So by releasing this guilt, releasing the shame, and realizing I am a spirit driving this human body, and I have a higher self that created the spirit that lives within this body. And by relying upon my intuition, by relying on my gut, by relying on this feeling that I have inside, and taking control of my life, I will begin to live the life that I've always wanted but was never brave enough to have out of fear of failure. But there is not one necessarily type or archetype. Everyone in this room would be considered a healer, but healers are many times teachers. In addition to healers, doctors, they're office managers, they are engineers, they're all types of things. But 50% of this room are writers, and another 50% are teachers, healers, ministers, and we do not mean ministers in the church sense. We mean ministers in those that inspire others and those that are here to plant seeds to help others excel in their life.
Okay. What was the collective spiritual credit score of this group prior to the exercise and after the exercise?
32, after the exercise, 611.
That's quite a jump. Okay. What is the impact of this event today in terms of the larger mission that we've signed up to do or contracted to do?
The energies are accumulating within this room, within this center, within these individuals, and many seeds will be planted in terms of those going out and wanting to learn more, those wanting to use these tools that they have learned in their home, whether those that are the most skeptical, in essence, will be those that see the most results. What you must understand is the duality of this world and the skepticism of things of this nature is truly the ego inside not wanting to believe what the spirit knows to be true. But many people's spirits don't even know something to be true, so how could the mind be skeptical? So understand that there are many that are skeptical. There are 5 or 6 No, 6 that are skeptical, they will use these practices and see a shift in their life. They will see changes, and they will then go forth and help to spread the word. For we are not here for a particular mission. We are not here for a particular reason other than to bring an awareness to that which we cannot see. For if there is an awareness brought to that which we cannot see, then those that cannot see it can remedy themselves without the ability to see all of these things. Just as you say, I do not feel this or see this, but there are many things where you get a bored feeling that comes over you, or you get a feeling where you don't want to do anything, and this is when something negative would come in that this channel may see as an actual being. For we all have certain personality traits. We all have certain foods. We all have certain words. We all have certain characteristics in which we display and experience when we are on different levels or different floors of that 12-story building. So you may begin to see, oh, wow, I am wanting to eat this right now. My vibration must be sort of low. I don't feel sad yet, but you know what? If I go home and my husband says something rude, I might just explode. So if you're starting to notice that you're doing things that you do when your vibration is lower, then just ask your higher self to come in, release all the energy that doesn't belong to you, and that isn't for your highest and best good, and allow yourself to go back up. So it is just an awareness, and this is what they mean by awakened, or sleeping, or conscious, or non-conscious. It is a consciousness that we are, and many, many, many on this planet, doesn't matter whether they are religious, science, spiritual, anything, they're unconsciously living through life and only wake up when really bad things happen to them, and then they say, oh my gosh, what's going on? But they don't ask why it's the things that are good are happening. They worry that they will turn bad. And the bad, they feel as if they do not have control to release these. So a conscious awareness bringing this to these individuals.
Okay, and because we're almost out of time, my last question, and we usually end sessions this way, is do the guides have any specific information they want to share with this group at this time?
Saying someone has a question. That's weird.
Someone else has a question?
I don't know. It's like they
Does
keep
somebody
saying,
in the room have a
is
question?
it like a dying question or something like that?
Does anybody have a question? Well, okay, then, I think is there somebody?
Their higher self is jumping up and down. That's
Okay.
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
come
they say-
forward, come forward.
They say,
You can ask a question. Come on.
The question is,
I'll repeat it. Go ahead.
where all this knowledge that we're receiving, where will it lead us into the future?
Okay, the question was, where will all this knowledge lead us to in the future?
well, many people will just make them happier. Many, it will make them frustrated. They'll say, ugh, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. But then they must do the exercise and say, where are my blocks that are keeping me from being able to do this, and release those. It is very simple indeed. Leading into the future, everyone will be different. Everybody will move forward. For what we have released today are the blocks that you had to the things that you wrote down on your paper. What you must do is continue to go back to this once a week. Maybe once a month, once a week, even every single day. Say, who am I admiring today? What am I looking up to? Who am I wanting to be like? Or what profession do I want to have? Or who's bothering me? What's bothering me? And release the blocks to that. All you must do is use the exercise in which we taught you, where you connect in with the higher self above you, pulling it down below the heart, and then asking to see the blocks as a box or something that you can watch dissolve, cleanse, or clear, or feel it get cleansed, cleared. The message in which we have for each individual in here is that each and every one of you have a guardian angel. Each and every one of you, whether you're skeptical of the higher self, you may be even more skeptical of angels or of beings watching over you. We say unto you this: many people are wanting to connect with their angels. They're wanting to connect with their guides. They're wanting to connect with something that is outside of them, that can help them, that can guide them, that can lead them, that can be a companion, in essence. Before connecting with anything of this sort, please connect in from the 7th floor. Go in, imagine that you're in this elevator, even if it only takes 2 seconds. Go into this elevator, go up to the 7th, ask for your higher self to clear this space, allow the doors to open, and ask your guide or your guardian angel to come forward. But each person has a guardian angel that is watching over them, and what they must know and understand is that when they are meeting a guide or meeting some being that is approaching them, they must ask for that being to reach out and energetically touch the heart. The heart is true compassion, true love, unconditional love. And as you begin to have a being metaphorically reach out and touch the heart, you'll either feel expanded or you will feel non-expanded. You will feel like you get smaller. Do not work with a guide that does not make you feel expanded. Do not work with something that does not make you feel bigger, that doesn't make you feel better, because there are many beings out there that are draining energies. And we have released all the blocks to those today. We have released all the cords to those today. And today was really just a renewal session for those that came here. They know what they want to do, but have not been able to accomplish it. Or they were just curious, and now they have seeds planted, and they understand that they have somewhat control over their life. There's much research that will be done. They will look up quantum healing, they will look up higher selves, they will look up spirits, they will look up all these different energies, and they will begin to see and realize that they have complete and total control over their life.
Okay, well, thank you very much to the guides, and of course, thank you, Marissa.
Thank you, and we bid you adieu.
So, I think we have a few people. What's going to happen now?
So there's people doing readings here. So if you have a VIP ticket and you want to get a reading, or they're here. You would sign up with Marla, I guess, so you can get your intuitive reading. There's you can ask a couple questions. These are all really good people that have taken my classes, and they have their own practices. Some of them don't, but they're wanting to. But if you have a reading, they're doing them, I think, somewhere. I guess in here is fine.
Yeah, just in the room back there.
So in the back room over there. So I think Marlo is arranging that. Does anybody have any questions at all about anything? Let me think. Okay, so there's my website. I have a morning meditation on my website. If you want to do it in the morning, it's really cool. It's like filling up your love gas tank, and it's actually your chi. And connecting in with your higher self and removing energy that doesn't belong to you. It's 15 minutes long, and it's free. It's just on www.discoverintuition.com, and it's right there. And then I have other meditations that Alexis has been putting on the website. And then I'll put the exercises from today, the ones that I got recorded, onto the website too. That'll just say workshop or something, and then I'll have the little exercises in there so you guys can practice on that. If you have questions or whatever, you can always email me through the website or on Facebook or something. Probably the website's the easiest, because Facebook, I've gotten to the point where I'm I don't want to go into it sometimes because there's too much. But questions, anyone about anything? Yes.
In the last year and a half, normally in the very early morning, I clearly hear my name called.
Okay.
Clearly. And the first time, I was go away.
Yeah.
So scary. The second time, is this something to be afraid of?
Were you close with your grandma?
I didn't know her, but I've been told by several
your
people
grandma.
she's around me.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. She's right there.
Okay,
She's
cool.
she's got short.
So
Does she have short hair?
I don't know.
Oh, short
Never
hair.
met her.
Well, that's an easy one. Wait, was that last night? Well, she says this, and no, I'm just kidding. I was saying the mediums that are oh, you're, which was the grandparent that you didn't know? My grandpa, my dad's, yeah, that's who's here. He says he loves you and he's in heaven. I'm just kidding. I'm making fun of some
So
mediums.
don't be afraid of
No. Well, okay, so what you can do is you can actually, if you guys, does anyone else hear their name called, right before they fall asleep? That happens a lot. And if it's over on the right side, usually it's coming from your higher self side. If it's from over here, it's coming from something that's not so good, in my experience. What you can do is you can just say, show me that energy as a ball of light or something, and then pull it into your heart. And if you feel like you get bigger, then it's good. If you feel like you get smaller, then it's not so good. And then just say higher self, block them from being able to come in. Yeah, but no, it does. It feels like grandma.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and a tall Atlantean-looking guy behind you, but it's grandma that you're hearing. Yeah, interesting. Anyone else have any questions? Yes.
I'm exhausted in the morning. It's been like I'm out working.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's exactly what I said on the website. On my website, it's your life force energy. You have a gas tank, and it's called chi. So chi, prana, life force energy. Actually, I found out the other day that the Holy Spirit actually means life force actually means the chi. It's actually the white light right here. And I was like, oh my God, that makes sense. They were attuning people to the Holy Spirit is actually the chi. But when we go throughout the day, we spend our energy, and then we give it out, and we go, oh, that person looks sad. Here, I'm going to give them some. Or, oh, here, my needy friend over here. I'm not going to pay attention to her, but here, I'll just give her some of my energy or whatever. So we're giving it out, giving it out, giving it out. And if we don't actually take the time to refill our energy using like the earth's energy, or you can use source. Earth, to me, I like pulling the energy in from the earth because it's the same as source. Like source is also in the middle of the earth. But you're out astral traveling. So when you come back, or just tell your higher, who else astral travels here? Astral travelers. That's awesome. I've never remembered doing stuff. In my dreams, I'm like trying to run. I'm like frozen. That's it. But the astral travelers, if you know that you astral travel in the morning, do that meditation that I have on there, because it's literally refilling your gas tank, refilling it back up, and then grounding and pulling in energy. You're just giving out too much. And you need to disconnect yourself from your book. No, seriously, the people, when you're connected to your company, let's say that somebody works for you. This is like famous people too, people that are like on TV and stuff. That like a separate field that's like their character needs to be set up, because when people are thinking, the last thing I'll share real quick, and I'll answer another question if anyone has one, but I took a class on subconscious reprogramming, and believe me, it's like takes way too long to do the real thing. This is so much easier, the techniques I taught you today. But they had a lady muscle test, and she was strong. She said her name, and then they had her say no, and she wasn't strong. They pushed down her arm, and then they had her leave the room, and the teacher told us, think positive thoughts about her when I do this, and think negative when I do this. So she was like this. We all thought, oh, she's so pretty, and her arm was strong. And then she went like that, and she couldn't hold her arm up for the life of her, because her whole electrical system was weak. When you think something negative, when you think something negative about yourself or something that's not true, the energy in your system like goes just for like a second, long enough to where everything in you kind of like weakens. And that's why a pendulum works, because the energy in this hand, like if you go like this and hold your hand up and just kind of like close your eyes, you'll kind of feel like there's energy, like sort of, I don't see or feel much. I don't feel much, I have to see. But you'll kind of feel like energy coming out of your hand. Say yes, 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 and it'll feel like it's coming out stronger. And then say no, 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 and it actually feels like it's getting pulled back. Can you feel it? Yeah. So if you want to communicate with the higher self, you use the left hand. It's communicating with your higher self. And it's like yes, 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 no, no, no. Am I going to get the job? Yes? Sweet. No. Or like, am I going to do this? No breaking up with your boyfriend if your hand says that he's cheating. I've had 3 clients do that. After learning how to use a pendulum, they like broke up with their boyfriends because the pendulum said they were cheating, and they really weren't. It's just their worst fear. Because any layer of your body, like I said, we've got 12 layers of your body. It can be your emotions, it can be your mental body. So that's why tuning into your higher self. But your left hand is your higher self's energy. So that's why you can ask questions that way. Is this food good for me? Is this medication good for me? Everything like that. Yes.
So every time Katie's in the house,
Uh-huh.
her
daughter.
My daughter, the guy is gone now, the one that passed on, isn't bothering her anymore.
Good.
So no cold showers.
Oh, God.
But every time she's in the house and she's sleeping, she has these horrible dreams, and then she wakes up and can't move, so she's been out of body. But it's like a frightening thing. Is there like something in the house, something in her
No,
room?
it's something in her field. She needs to, yeah.
She's picking it up somewhere.
It's not even that. It's just a lot of times we have like past life stuff. So has anybody else's life like shifted from like 2008? I mean, obviously, it's been a while since 2008, but like 2011, 2012, huge shift. Because what happened was everybody went from being in the 3rd building over there to either being halfway between the 3rd and the 4th, or just completely over here, completely ungrounded in the physical body and completely open to like spirit and energy and all that. So people who were not sensitive or not empathic before, that couldn't really feel other people's emotions, can now feel them. So if we have stuff that's in our field, also from like a past life, that could start affecting us, because now we're seen. If we were in here, nothing could see us. But like I told Marla was always like, why do I always have these dark energies on me? I do my prayers, I do my healings, I do my this, I do my that. And I said, and we asked the guides, and they said, well, look at it like this. In one lifetime, you're born into Encinitas, and, it's a nice nice town, whatever, and then basically that's a higher vibration. You go down, you start getting into trouble, you go down to like go up to Compton, or you go down to like the bad part of San Diego, and you like get in trouble, and then you make a deal with the bad cop, and you're like, all right, I'll give you some money and you let me off, and the cop's like, vow eternity to me and I will let you off. And you're like, oh, sweet, I'm not eternal. You know, those are the beings or fake guides that come in. And so then you die, you're gone, whatever. You come back, you live another lifetime in Encinitas, you never go down to San Diego, so you never run into those beings. And I'm talking about like frequencies, basically, or vibration. But then the world is going through a shift now, so we're starting to feel a lot of energies. We're all empathic. She could go live in Encinitas, go hang out around somebody that lives in that part of San Diego, and get pulled down to that frequency, and then the bad cop's like, oh, hey, there she is, haven't seen her for a while, you know, and so those old energies or those old beings will start attaching on. So it's past life stuff.
She's working in the psych ward right now as an RN, so.
Well, there we go. Bubble up. So, I'll text you. You have a question? Or,
Oh, I have a question.
yeah.
I invited my niece Melissa, and so I'm going to ask this question for her. She said it was okay, but
Yeah.
every day at 5 o'clock she feels nauseous.
Every day at 5 o'clock?
And you had
It's time for a
cleared-
beer. Just kidding.
I know.
5 o'clock
Just-
somewhere?
You did clear something in her house. She had that creepy portal.
Uh-huh.
But
5 o'clock, let me see. 5 o'clock, that's weird. Every day, literally at 5 o'clock?
Like really car sick almost. Just
Car sick.
Nauseous. and, like,
Interesting.
dizzy. And I'm not pregnant.
That's a good question. They're showing like a little like vortex there. Is it only when you're at home?
No.
It's all the time?
It's always
I'll have to
when
look
I'm
deeper into that because I think it
driving,
has to do with some
anything.
personal stuff. I see it going back to like when you're like, yeah,
Weird.
it's like childhood stuff.
Really?
Yeah. That's weird though, 5 o'clock every day though.
But it lasts for a few hours.
Well, when that happens, if anyone feels nauseous or you feel like, does anyone ever get spinny or
Yeah.
ears poppy? Okay, so you're about to like eject out of your body. We've got something called, literally, you've got something called an astral body. That astral body can go into the astral plane, and you're connected by like a silver cord to like your spleen. Supposedly, I've never seen it, but my mom's has. She's like, oh, I feel like a space person, it's like hanging from this like cord coming out of me. I'm like, wow. But basically, that goes into the astral plane and then brings back any like energies with you. The right before you like pop out of body, you feel like you're going to throw up. And then if there's any sort of like spirit energies in your field, if they come into your field and their energy is stronger than yours, they're trying to push you out, then you may feel nauseous. So I would just stop, ground yourself, do the snow globe. Literally, the snow globe is like the coolest thing because I programmed so many quantum healing codes into the energy that comes down that it like clears entities, clears beings. It's not like all me, I'm a little snow globe and I'm gonna clean little energies. It's like bam, it heals. So try and do the snow globe thing when you feel like that and see if it brings you back into your body. And just literally like hold the snow globe book actually is kind of like attunement. Like you hold it right here and you can actually feel the energies because I have it all programmed and hardcore. Our first book is programmed too. This one, like I've actually had people say that like they like felt like they were getting healing when they were reading it because I programmed this one and I programmed that guy too. But anyways, so yeah, I would try and do that because it feels like you're getting pushed out of your body. Interesting. But 5 o'clock, that's weird. Yeah. Or wait, you had a question? Wait, there you go.
I was wondering, you told that woman to separate herself from her book. And I think like everybody is so busy in this world, we have our jobs, we have all these responsibilities that we're so attached to. How do you separate yourself from it? It's so part of everything you do.
Well, you don't have to separate it like literally separate yourself, but energetically, if your job and your life carries like the same snow globe, like they're the same thing, what you can do is you can connect in with that seventh layer piece of yourself, the creator self, that's your like ascended self. Connect in with that and then just ask to be shown in the form of like a snow globe or a bubble or something like that. You know, let me see my job, let me see my personal life. And if they're like merged together, then just ask the higher self to come in. And I just imagine like the higher self going like, oh, like sending energy to it. And then I'll see them kind of like separate, light go through them, heal them, clear them, they're separate. And you may not know what's happening, but what you're doing is you're setting up the energy in order to, so all of a sudden maybe you'll be like, oh, I don't really feel like checking, my email when I'm at home now, or I don't feel like doing this. Like all of a sudden it's just like, mine's like uncontrollable. I'm giving myself advice. Geez, I need to like separate. It's like 3 a.m. I'm like, oh yeah, I think the spirit is here, and okay, I'll cross it over. And Jeff's like, what are you doing? I'm like, sorry, somebody's guy has an issue. I have an issue with the light. Turn it off. And then, like Madison wakes up and then anyways, but yeah, so separating the fields, and once you get more used to like communicating with your higher self, you may even like see words in there, or like hear like, oh, well, this is the reason why. Like me personally, I went to rehab. I got out of rehab, and I immediately got a job as a loan processor with my sponsor, and my sponsor taught me all about loan processing, and I went, wow, the loan officers make all this money, and she makes this much money. Like, I want to be a loan officer, and my dad was a broker, so I was like, hey, why don't we start a mortgage company? So my whole identity went from being like this, in my own mind, like this loser that dropped out of college and started hanging out with the bad people, and then, went to rehab, and my first identity was work. So the only way that I could really, I would walk around, even when I wasn't on a work call, if I got insecure, I'd pretend like I was working on the phone. And then a few times it rang while I was doing that. That's the funny. Oh yeah, let's do this deal, and blah, 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 ring. It's like, oh, oops. But that was like how bad I was. So when you can start to realize like how your human mind works, it's like, oh my God, I totally define myself by work. I totally define myself by what I do. Those people are like, hi, my name is so-and-so, I'm da 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 da. It's like, cool. And, like, who are you? Not like, what do you do? And that's me too. That's how I was. I'd walk up to people and be like, you've got like a light over your head. And like, I wanted everybody to know that I could see stuff. And now I'm just like, I don't want anyone to know, But anyway, so yeah, find out why it's in mesh. It's funny. Your higher self is like, doo-doo-doo, like, what do you do?
I have a business. We manufacture aromatics.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Cool. Anyone else? One more. Okay, 1, and then 2, and then Rosie. Okay, 2, but yeah.
Hi, Marissa. I got a
Hello.
quick question.
Yeah.
You're talking about smells.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes there have been unpleasant smells and some pleasant smells. So,
Mm-hmm.
what is your take? Why is that happening? Why am I encountering that?
Let me ask the guides that, because I'm not sure. Hold on, let me see. For when you bring forth a smell, you bring forth a frequency. Just as you hear a sound, this has a frequency to it. Each smell within this system has a frequency to it. If you are tuned into and bringing forth smells that you cannot see, feel, hear, or touch, you in essence are bringing forth the frequency. So just as one will say, here is the coding in a computer to see an apple, and then here is an apple, they are in essence the same thing in this reality. So you're bringing forth the smells, and you are smelling, in essence what you are smelling is spirits. And when the spirits cross over, many times they will hang on to some of the frequencies in which they have on the earth plane. If they are remembered by, say, their cigar smoke, or they are remembered by their perfume, what they will do is project that frequency or that smell into your field so that your mind will pick up on it and therefore smell it. Your mind does not know the difference between the real smell and the frequency of the smell that comes into your field, so you will smell the perfume. Many times also, when one visits you from beyond, they will come and they will project memories into your mind. These also come in frequencies or codes. Look at every single being within this entire universe as a radio tower. They have their radio tower, they are projecting their message, they are projecting their words, they are projecting their frequencies, and we are tuning into hearing them, feeling them, sensing them, or knowing them. Just as 100 people can listen to the same radio station and have different reactions, 100 people can smell the same smell and have different reactions. That make sense?
Yes, and there's one particular smell that's.
Is it your mom or something like that?
No.
Oh, okay. Plumer, if there's a...
No, because sometimes I get pleasant and unpleasant smells.
The unpleasant is going to be when your vibration's lower. Yeah. So unpleasant smells, ectoplasm is something that's in mediums fields, and spirits use it to like sheath over like their hands. They can slam a door, or like flicker a light, or mess with electronics, which are also frequencies. So they can, the earthbound spirits, if someone's like, oh yeah, my dad, he passed away, he's in heaven, and he's always messing with the lights. Dad's not in heaven. If he's messing with the lights, because he's still down here. Doesn't mean he's in a bad place, but he's definitely down here still. So the ectoplasm smells almost like rotten eggs / dirty socks. And that's because you're a physical medium. So if you're a physical medium, you have that in your field, and spirits will use that to densify themselves. So it's like a dense energy, like putting like a fog through your etheric body, because when you pass away, you have like a, hold on, let me just show you really quick, because this is important. Let me get this chart. Overboard. No, I know. Oh. Okay, so I tried to make a simple chart, and I went overboard. You see it, Papa? So, I started out with the simple, okay, here's us right here, and here's our heart space, and there's our soul center, and that's where you're putting the snow globe into your soul center. The snow globe is light, that's knowledge, so it's the whole wave particle thing in quantum physics. But so then we have these 12 layers around us, and I can see all of those in people. So like if I drop into someone's field, say I drop into their field, I'm going to see their etheric body, which is a representation of them with whatever ailments they have or non-ailments or whatever. So it'll be kind of like a sheer body that just kind of has like patches on it or whatever. So then I heal that. And then right behind that, I see the emotional body. So the emotional body is right here. And the etheric body is like a spam filter. So if you have like depression or whatever, and it's in your emotional body too long, and you don't clear it, you don't release it, you don't do something. I mean, even a salt bath. The hot springs are awesome. I'm like, go there. But the hot springs, like a salt bath. I have a thing on my website. It's called Taking a Soul Bath. It's really cool. You put like, essential oils and salts and stuff like that, and just intend that you're giving your soul a bath instead of you a bath. And what I use a lot is the law of correspondence. What I'm using with you guys is the law of correspondence, as above, so below. So if you're imagining it there, it's happening here. And that's, so anyways, the soul bath is like, oh, my soul is getting a bath. So then you're healing that layer of you. Then next out would be your mental body. So I'll see them at whatever age they are mentally. Most people emotionally are usually like 5 to 7 years old. And that's when we shut down our emotional body pretty much and stopped growing up. So, when you say, God, my husband acts like he's 8, he probably is, literally. Not to say that we're not 5, but, more like 12, bratty 12. Jeff's like, I'd like to say that she's 7. No. So then next out from the emotional is the mental, and then the astral. The astral is that vehicle I was talking about that goes out. So the astral takes with it the mental body, the emotional body, all of that kind of like with it. So if your frequency's low because your emotional body's all pissed off and it's not getting attention, and then your mental body's like, rah, 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 then when you are merging out of your body from third to fourth, that stuff will see you, and then you'll be like, smells like rotten eggs, or smells like this, or smells like that. Next out is the soul body, or the I am. You hear about the I am, or the creator self, and that's what you guys are connected to today. That's what I connected you guys with today. So most people, when they get into spirituality, they call in their higher self, and their emotional body comes. A 7-year-old comes. Little kid comes, all right, I'm ready to develop, my spirituality. And they're super obnoxious. They're wearing like all the mala beads, and they're like in pure white, walking around like, oh, I'm a healer. I kind of went through that, but not too bad, sort of. But mine was more bombing people with readings like Long Island Medium to get attention. And then the next out would be your soul group. So you share a hard drive with your entire soul group. And our soul group, he was talking about the soul group, is like 1,138 people. And of those people, they've said that those people are going to be kind of like coming in. Everybody's getting realigned with their soul groups now. And it's like whatever their mission is, whether it's saving the planet or saving the souls or saving the human, whatever it is, that's their mission. So soul groups are coming together. So when you meet someone, they seem familiar. It's probably because they are. And that's a hard drive that you can tune into. That's also called the Akashic Records. And then above there is the Oversoul, and then the cosmic body, and then your Christed body. So, in the Bible, Jesus was able to embody his Christed body. It's actually spelled Kristed, Christed. And it's called a Christic, like avatar, is kind of what they call it too. But anyways, that's the body that he was able to embody. And then you've got the divine feminine, divine masculine. So anyways, those are all layers that are you. Those are all layers of your higher self. And within all those layers, you have guides, you have fragments, you have energy. So it's just so much easier and cleaner to just call in your higher self, the one from that 7th floor, connecting in with that one, because then you're connecting in with the one that's like perfect, the one that created you, rather than the you that's down here with amnesia, that's almost as clueless as you are, So anyways, that's basically us, and the and our consciousness goes wherever. So most mediums are in their emotional or mental body or their astral right there. And then channelers are more like channeling from hopefully up, connecting with the soul energy, and then communicating with like the higher self of Einstein or the higher self of Michael Jackson or the higher self of whatever. And that way there's no emotions involved. So anyways, but yeah, our consciousness can be in like all those different places, but the spirits, when we pass away, no physical body, and all they are is the astral, mental, and emotional. So you're gonna feel spirits around you, kind of, you'll feel them, you'll feel their emotions, you'll feel their feelings, and that's why a lot of people get sick when they lose loved ones. They get sick because the loved one is still hanging around them, they can't see them, and then their physical body's starting to respond to the spirit that's in their field because they still have all their ailments, they still have everything. But once they cross over, that piece of them is healed, the emotional body sheds, and then they're just their mental body. And then they come back again. But anyways, yeah, that's my obnoxious chart. So anyways, all right, guys. Isn't that a cool snow globe? It looks like what are those candies? Those little candies? To me, it looks like a piece of candy.